Okay, so this is take two?
Take two.
Okay. So I guess we'll start over where we
start
were.
From the top.
Hi, and welcome.
Welcome.
We're live. This is our first ever reference live, so we'll see how it goes, and we're still trying to figure out like technical stuff. So if it, well, we don't even know. Okay, so introductions.
Yes.
Okay, why don't you start?
Okay, I am Stephanie Evers-Ard. I am the Social Sciences Librarian here in the Marx Library.
And I am Beth Regan-Shepard, and I am the Arts and Humanities Librarian here at the Marx Library. So today, we're going to kind of just wing it. Ooh, something popped up on our screen.
Put on a mask to give yourself a fun look.
Yeah, we're not going to do that.
No, that sounds kind of creepy.
You're not going to do that. But we are going to kind of wing it and talk a little bit about libraries in general, and hopefully you guys have some questions and you can ask them, but this is the first one, so we'll kind of just see what happens. Okay,
All
so
right.
where do we want to start? Do you want to start with just kind of general library stuff?
Yeah, we can start with some...
Okay, we brought some reading materials so in case we don't get anything wrong,
We
right?
were librarians, so what did you expect would happen?
Yeah. Okay, so just kind of general things about the library. This is supposed to be kind of just like a get to know us and our services. So I guess we can kind of start with
Hours? Okay. All right, so this basic information, but we are open Monday through Thursday, 7:30 in the morning to midnight, which is the latest that any place on campus is open.
Yeah, for real.
So really great if you are trying to... No, that's telling us to write a comment.
Ignore us.
We're doing this.
We're doing this.
So it's great if you're doing some last minute paper writing or homework.
Yeah.
And then we're open on Fridays until 6 p.m. No one wants to be here till midnight on Friday. And then we're
Social
open,
life.
Social life, right? Yeah. And then we're open on Saturday and Sunday as well. 9 to 5 Saturday, and then 1 to midnight again on Sunday.
Yeah, get in that like busy Sunday work night thing. Yeah, and like somebody mentioned, we're one of the very few buildings that are open on campus that late, so that's kind of exciting. And we have a Starbucks, which makes it even better, right? And they have the same operational hours as we do.
Most of the time.
Most of the time? Yeah, I mean, if it's weird.
Which makes them the latest Starbucks in the city, I think, right?
I think so. Yeah, so exciting. Okay, so what else? Well, a little bit about maybe the reference desk, what we do there.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's a desk that's kind of behind us back over here.
Over there somewhere.
Yeah. It's our reference desk, and it's kind of where we would say is like ground zero. That's not a good way to say that.
It's the
hub.
That's a good positive word.
Positive.
Yeah.
Okay. The hub of kind of where you would go to ask library questions, and it's staffed by either a reference librarian, so somebody like Stephanie or I, and or one of our staff members who are amazing and awesome. And so if you have any questions at all library related, that's the place to go and ask them.
Yes.
Right? I mean, anything and everything.
It could be anything from like, how do I print? We'll talk about that in a minute. Or it could be help that you need with a research paper that you're writing if you are trying to locate a book or an article.
Yeah. What's the craziest reference question you've gotten so far?
The one that craziest one I've gotten so far, I did have somebody ask me if he thought we would ever live on the moon.
Huh.
So
That's a speculative question.
It is, but I did refer him to some information about SpaceX and Elon Musk.
Oh, look at you. Okay, yeah. Reference librarian in action right there.
What about you?
Well, this is a real reference question, but sources on 17th century French dentistry, which kind of blew my mind, and I was like, we can do this. So yeah, places to go for all kind of help. But let's talk about, since you mentioned printing, let's discuss it, because it's the second week of the semester, a fall semester, and tons of brand new students on campus, and everybody wants to know how to print, and we get that question
Probably 7 million times a day.
Yeah, so we just thought we'd kind of walk through how you actually print, and we have a handy dandy cheat sheet for you at the reference desk.
Very convenient.
Very convenient.
You can keep it. It has everything you need to know.
It sounds harder than it is,
yes.
too. Like, I always preface printing with, like, it's way worse than it actually is. It looks worse.
It sounds really complicated, but it isn't.
All right, so you want to take it from the top?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so step one.
What?
You need to acquire a track card. And even though we were just talking...
I should have brought one.
Yeah, we should have brought one.
Yeah.
Well, it's not the same thing as your JAG card. A lot of students think it's your ID, but it's not. It's a little white card, and even though we were just talking about the reference desk, we don't have the track cards. They're on the first floor where the Starbucks is.
At the circulation desk.
At the circulation desk. So you get a track card, and I think it's, 50 cents?
The card is 50 cents, yeah.
And then
but it's reloadable, so you get to keep it.
Right. So you can just keep adding money to it.
Get excited. It's 21st century technology. Not really.
But don't lose it, because that's 50 cents, you're out.
Yeah. Put your name on it.
Yeah. And then it's 10 cents a page after that, so you can just load up, if it's black and white, so you can just load up as much as you need to print your 10-page essay for your English class. So.
Right. So if you gave them $1, you get the card, and then you get 5 printed pages.
Right.
Math.
Yes. All right.
So that's step 1.
Step 1.
All right. So step 2 is, okay, so we want step 1 and 2. So buy it and load it with money, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, we could split those.
Yeah.
The more steps, the better.
Right. Step 3 is going to be just opening your print job and sending it down to the printers. Okay, so there are lots of public service computers like in all different parts of the library. The main collection of them is in the reference area behind the reference desk, but there's also a computer lab on the 3rd floor. And the computer lab is just for students. So if you guys are a student, you'll probably have to show your student ID to get in there, but there are computers and a printer in there, which we'll get to that in a second. But so all you need to do is find a computer, open your document, just file print however you normally print your document, whatever that document may be. And then, this is the part that seems to blow the mind, okay? You'll need to make sure that the printer track card is selected, which is the default, so it should be. And then you will wait for an extra box to pop up.
Yes.
And this is where it gets weird. The box will then ask you for a username and password. And so what do we always tell people? Just make it up.
Make something up.
Like,
whatever you want, it can be different every time.
Yeah, but make it as easy as possible. So like 3 letters and a number maybe. Like don't make it some crazy long password that's hard for you to remember, because when you go to whatever printer you're going to use, you will put in your track card, select your print job, and then enter that password again.
I think we've stopped with our steps.
Oh yeah, that's like step 47.
Yeah, so at this point...
At this point you got your printed page,
That's
right? Like you got your stuff. But key things to remember.
Okay, 1, you have to have a track card to print. 2, you have to have money upon that track card in order to print. All right, 3, when you go to print like you normally would, but it's going to prompt you to put in a username and password, make up whatever you want. And then, I think we left this out, the printers are actually back downstairs. So you get lots of exercise when you need to print.
Up and down the spiral staircase.
Up and down the wonderful Miss America spiral staircase.
Or, if you're in the lab upstairs, there's a printer up there too.
That's right.
Yeah.
And there's color printing in the computer lab as well.
Yeah, and that is not 10 cents a page.
No.
That is 50 cents a page, right? Yeah. Which
That's
I
right.
think, I'm going to be straight up honest with you guys, I think the color printing is cheaper in the student center.
Is it?
Yeah, like don't fact check me on this one, but like CNN's
looking
gonna call.
into,
Be like, fact check. But I really do think it's a bit cheaper. So do
If
your
you really
research
need to print in color.
Yeah, if you really print a bunch of stuff in color, maybe take a look at that.
Check it out.
Yeah, but we have it available to you. So that's printing, man. Things to kind of think about troubleshooting though, like I said, make a really easy password.
Yeah.
Also, when you print, don't wait a huge amount of time between when you send your job to the printer and when you go and pick it up. So probably max an hour to be safe, right? Something else is just, guys, make sure you save your document in case something weird happens.
Save it. Make sure that you save it somewhere other than the compuer that you're using.
Yeah, good point.
Okay, so I recommend that you use something in the cloud,
like Google Drive.
Yeah.
It's free and you have it. Use it, right?
Yes. If you are using your JAG mail, that is a Gmail account. So all you have to do is go in and use Google Docs or Google Forms or whatever it is you're using, and automatically save it.
Yeah, and if you're old school, you could use like a little thumb drive or whatever. I mean, if that's your jam, then use it. Right?
Or,
just do something.
Download it, email it to yourself.
Yeah.
Just make sure you have
please
it.
make sure you save it, because who knows, something weird could happen. The printer server could go down for a nanosecond or something, and if that's your only copy of your English 102 assignment,
you're out of luck.
You sunk, right? So, that's printing. Okay, what else did we want to talk about? I think we wanted to talk about a little bit about If you guys have any questions, ask them. A little bit about maybe organization of the space.
Yeah,
we get a bunch of questions about that the first couple weeks of the semester. So I think it confuses people because when you walk in, there are no books.
You don't see any books
on the first floor at all. And people are like, "There's a library here? There's books? Where are they?" So first floor is Starbucks, which is important.
Very important.
The circulation desk. So super important, where you buy track card and where you also
check out your books. Yeah.
And then there is the new and forthcoming
Learning Commons. So the space that used to have all our DVDs and other instructional media is now a big empty space with some tables and chairs, but eventually it is going to be converted into a very cool collaborative space where students can hang out and work on projects and
so that's what's gonna happen down there. Right now it's just kind of a empty space. So we got a first question. Okay, so hold that question. The question is, do you have my textbook? And we will answer that one in a second. Okay, way to go, Kathy. Thanks. Okay, so that's first floor. Second floor is gonna be
reference on this side.
Yes,
which we were just talking about, the reference desk
where
and all those computers.
We hang out.
Yeah, that's where most of the cool people are in reference.
We try.
Yeah,
we try. Well, now the rest of the library is gonna be like, oh, we're not cool. Thanks.
No, I said.
Yeah.
You're
okay,
right.
whatever.
But they can come hang out.
They can, totally.
No,
right.
Yeah.
So reference is the ground zero, like I said, not a good term, but we're going to ask all questions. And also the reference collection. So subject specialized encyclopedias, dictionaries, things like that, right? Across the way, on the old side, which we call the south side,
right,
is the bound periodicals through journals, and new periodicals, current periodicals, right? Journals, magazines, government documents collection, and a new exciting entrance from humanities.
That's right.
The student
center.
center.
You don't have to come down on the first. You don't have to come in on the
trash
first floor.
can.
Yeah.
First floor anymore. Yeah. Okay. So that's second floor. Third floor is where the actual book stacks circulating collection starts.
Yes, the books that you can check out and take with you.
The checkout books.
The checkout books.
Yeah, those. So those are third and fourth floor.
Yes.
So the entire fourth floor and half of the third floor. And the other half of the third floor is the, oh my god, the name has escaped me. It's the archives, but I can't.
McCall.
Yeah, okay, yeah, the art.
I know you were talking about the art collection or the archives.
No, the archives.
Right.
Yeah, so those unique collections on the third floor in the archives. Study rooms, I guess?
Yes, I think there are study rooms on every floor.
There are?
Yes.
And they are first come, first serve. So we don't check them out, which is awesome for you guys because that would be way crazy. They're primarily intended for group use, but I mean, we're really not going to kick you out.
Not unless there's a huge demand and there are a bunch of groups who are with they've got their torches and they're ready for
pitchfork.
Yeah.
That usually happens like midterms and finals.
Yeah.
Every time other than that we're pretty lenient about it. Okay.
But they're very nice spaces. They're really, really quiet. In fact, they're so quiet you can't
whiteboards.
Yeah, they've got whiteboards in them. They've got nice big windows.
Yeah, it's a nice space. Sometimes they're the warmest spaces in the library too because the sun comes in. It's nice. And whiteboards in every study room, and you can grab a pack of dry erase markers. I was gonna say, what was I trying to say?
I have no idea.
Expo. That's what I was trying to say.
Only Expo.
Only Expo. Brand loyalty. We can grab a pack of those at the circulation desk downstairs, and we'll just hand them. They'll just hand them to you.
Yep.
Okay, so that's space.
Yeah.
Let's talk about Kathy's question. Do you guys have my textbook?
All right. All right, so we get this question a lot at the beginning of the semester. So typically, we don't keep the most recent textbooks because there is such a huge demand for them, and we wouldn't be able to give every single student who needed that textbook a copy of that textbook.
Yeah, so, and because textbooks editions change so rapidly, we would be constantly trying to keep up with the newest edition of a textbook, and all we would do is buy textbooks. So, and we would never be able to fulfill all of the demand. So it's a better use of our resources as a library to buy sources that will facilitate your research rather than your textbooks.
So the sad news is you're going to have to buy your textbook.
Yeah, I always say probably not, but we will look for you anyway, because sometimes we may have it just because one of us bought it potentially as a resource for one of our disciplines and it ended up being a textbook, or it was a gift potentially and they're still using that textbook.
Or you might have an older edition of the same book.
Yeah, like especially if it's like the Norton, the Norton guy, or what am I trying to think? The Norton Anthology to like American Lit. We have that. But if it's super specialized, there's a chance we don't have it. So there's your question. Okay, so Jason wants to know, if I want to read something fun or to take a break from studying, do you guys have anything like that? So I would say the majority of our collection is probably not fun to read. But that depends on your version of fun, right? But we do have a free library downstairs, which I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'll let you talk about it. Yeah.
So we have a free library. It's on the first floor, and it is one of the few places you will see books when you first walk into the library. And a lot of these are books that we get as donations, so they tend to be popular books, like fiction books.
Tom Clancy?
Yeah, lots of Tom Clancy down there.
People love Tom Clancy.
So there's romance down there, there are mystery novels, the kind of popular fiction that
maybe a public library would have? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and the great thing is you can take those and you can keep them.
Yeah, so we don't actually check them out, right? Yeah. It's like take a book, leave a book kind of thing. So there's that. You could grab it and go sit in the Starbucks. That's kind of cool. The other thing that I kind of think when people think fun to read, I tend to think like YA stuff, so like young adult. And we actually do have a pretty nice young adult collection.
We do, and it's actually right behind us.
Right there. Back there.
So if you're looking for a young adult.
A doot.
A boot.
Okay, Canadian. Sorry, didn't mean to offend any Canadians out there. Yeah, so, if you're looking for, like, I don't know, the Harry Potter series or Hunger Games or any of those, like, I think the Divergent series.
They are. We've got Divergent
there,
yeah.
So that's kind of fun. So take a look through there and kind of snag those if that's maybe fun, you're kind of fun reading.
And if you've got kids, there are all kinds of
there's actually, like, storybooks and stuff there, too.
My niece was up here looking at children's books not that long ago.
Okay, so I hope that answers your question about fun reading. We also do have a really nice, it's not reading, but it's media.
Yes.
A really nice media collection, so DVD collection.
So if you're looking for something to watch, a fun movie to watch on the weekend,
or you have an hour or two break between classes.
Yeah. You want to pop a DVD into your laptop, then those are also up here. Right behind the young adult and children's books.
We actually have a really big horror film collection. So if you're a horror film buff, we have a faculty member who studies horror.
Thank
so
Dr. Guzzi.
Dr. Guzzi, thanks for that. Okay, so cool. Next question. Rebecca asked us, if there's a book I want that isn't in the library, how do I go about getting it? Very good question.
Excellent question, Rebecca.
So, there's no way we can own everything.
Yeah.
Like, just, it can't happen. So, we have processes in place for you guys, if you're doing research, to be able to get that book. And
the process is called Interlibrary Loan, and you can request pretty much any book. They'll get it to you pretty quickly, and almost always for free.
Yeah, there are some weird exceptions, and we have an amazing Interlibrary Loan staff who processes this stuff super quickly and handles it, and they're amazing, and they'll get in touch with you if there's anything weird that happens, like a library wants to charge you, or whatever the case may be. They'll email you before any of that weird stuff happens so that you can decide if you really want it or not. But it's a pretty painless, I would say really painless process. Like, you just create a free account.
And you can do that from the library homepage. It's underneath library resources. You'll see it says Interlibrary Loan.
/copy service, I
think.
/copy
service, that's right.
And it'll say, like, first time user, and you just click on that and create an account.
Just like any other account with a username and password.
Write it down.
Yes.
Because if you forget your password, they'll have to reset it for you. And I think you may lose your history, which is no fun. So write it down somewhere. And then you can request books, book chapters, articles, conference proceedings, microfilm. We get some of that sometimes. If you have questions about how to get a book or what you can and cannot request, right? Because something's unique archival material is not going to come like rolled up through FedEx.
Right.
So, there are some questions about maybe what you can and can't request and what you maybe would be a great chance to talk about your librarian.
Ah, yes.
Yes.
All right. So if you have questions, you're trying to find something, you're not sure what you need, everyone, no matter what they're studying, has their very own librarian. We call these the Liaison Librarians. And so, like we said at the beginning, I'm the social sciences librarian, and Beth is
the arts and humanities
librarian. And so if someone needs help with psychology, they come to me. If someone needs help with English,
they come to me.
They go to Beth.
Right. And the idea behind that is that we have additional subject knowledge in those disciplines. So we can help facilitate research or help you with a research question because we have a deeper understanding of the subject matter, which is why I am not the science and technology librarian, because I don't know nothing about that. Right. So
as you can see from the beginning of our
right, we couldn't even get Facebook Live to work. So awesome. But if you come to the reference desk, you can get put in touch with. They'll put you in touch with your appropriate librarian.
And they'll give you a handy bookmark.
They'll give you a handy bookmark. It's beautiful that she made. On who your librarian is, right? And that would be a good time. So if you have a question about research or whether or not you can get at something through Interlibrary Loan, shoot your liaison librarian an email, ask them, and we will see what's going on, how we can help you, right?
Yep.
But I think this is a plug, and I always say, like, it feels weird when I say this, but use your liaison librarian.
Yes.
Or take advantage of us, which sounds even worse. But, like...
How about form a positive relationship?
Look at her.
Wordsmithing
it. But seriously, we're a resource.
Yes.
So we're here, use that resource, right?
That's what we're here for. It's what we're here to do.
Yeah.
Is to help you. So...
Yeah. So, grab one of these bookmarks from the reference desk upstairs, right?
Circulation has them too.
Oh, great. So grab one from any desk so that you can stick it in your notebook or whatever, and you'll know who your librarian is, and our contact information is on here too. So, yeah,
right.
Awesome. Okay, so we have another question, and then I think we'll probably be the last question.
Yep, we can wrap it up.
Yeah, we can wrap it up.
Until next week.
Okay, so I live off campus, and I'm having trouble logging on to library databases. What should I do? Panic.
Yep, give up.
No. No. Forget
Of course not.
No, never panic. There's always something to be done.
Yes.
Okay, so first question that we always ask is, are you a current student, faculty, or staff member?
Right.
You must be current in order to have access to our databases, and that is beyond our control. That is up to our licensing agreement. So we'll just put that there.
If you're graduated or you've moved on to another university, sorry.
Okay, so sorry. So that's first question. So if that's a yes, if you answered yes to that question, the next thing we're going to want to do is shoot us just call us. We can look you up by your J number to see if you are active in our system. I mean, you should be if you're a current student. A lot of times people are trying to log in with incorrect information.
Right.
So it is your J number, so J00, whatever that is, right?
And the number.
The full number, and also
the password that you use for your JAG mail,
which is also the password that you use for USA Online.
That's right.
Right? So it's the same password. So make sure you're using that password and making sure all the things are capitalized and whatever correctly. Okay? So those are those questions. And a lot of times I will say that tends to resolve those problems.
Right. Also, make sure you're trying to access the databases through the library's website.
Oh, good point.
Don't just, Google EBSCO and then try to use it that way, because it will not work.
Right. Yeah.
You have to actually go to the Marx Library website and then go to our databases list.
Yeah, so click on databases and e-reference under quick links, right? You think we have the website memorized or something. So excellent. I totally forget about that. But if you go through the library's homepage, you're a current student, and you're just, you've done everything right. You've typed in your password, you've checked it, you know what's up. Give us a call at the reference desk, right? And the number is everywhere, but I'm going to tell you what it is again. It's 460-7025. And we will punt you to a fabulous electronic resources librarian who will see what's up and see what the problem is.
Yes.
And sometimes it's something weird, maybe you were inactive for a semester and then you come back and something weird has happened. But a lot of times we can get it figured out.
Yes, always. We'll figure it out.
Sooner or later.
On.
Yeah, eventually we'll figure it out.
Usually
So
sooner.
hope that answers your question. Okay.
All right.
This was our first ever.
I think it went quite well.
I think one for the books, right?
That's right.
Although we did have our first 5-minute introduction that we filmed, and then our Wi-Fi went out, and we were like, we'll just.
I wonder if anyone saw it.
I don't know, but if they did, hi again.
Yep.
So we will be doing this every week, right?
Yes, every
at 2
Tuesday
o'clock on
at 2
Tuesday.
o'clock.
And we will have different things to talk about every week, but we will also be hoping that you guys ask questions. So log on, ask some questions, and we can answer them in real time. But also, if you would prefer to ask us a question like in the comments to our in Facebook.
Yeah, leave them on this, or leave them on the Facebook page underneath the post.
Or send us a message on Facebook, or you can. We have also an Instagram account, so
and a Twitter.
We're blowing up social media, y'all. So shoot us your questions that way, and we will hopefully we will answer them. We will.
We'll answer them.
All right, guys. So thanks a lot for tuning in.
Yeah.
And
so do we say librarians out?
Oh, I think we.
Oh yeah.
Totally. Librarians out.
Librarians out.